Hey, this is Horace. How are you doing? I'd like us to continue our studies in the book of Genesis. And we will continue with God created the great lights. And in verse 16 it says, and God made two great lights, the greater lights to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. And he made the stars also. I thought it's interesting that the Bible just said he made the stars also, as if it's nothing for him to make the stars. And but it put the emphasis on the sun and the moon. Why? Because the earth, God is focusing on the earth. Everything, all creation is focused on earth, the heavens and the earth. That's all there is. Didn't say the heavens and the Milky Way galaxies or the solar system. It's the earth. The earth is designed in such a way by God to see the lights out of the stars and the moon. In fact, the earth is placed in the Milky Way galaxies where we can see the multitude of stars and galaxies there and planets there in the Milky Way galaxy. It's interesting, you know, that when you look up and you see the Milky Way galaxies, you see all this bright point dots, and it looks like milk. That's why they call it Milky Way galaxy, because that's how much stars there are in the Milky Way galaxies. Billions and billions. And our Milky Way galaxy is not even as big as other galaxies. So you can imagine how huge and vast many of these galaxies are. And yet, when the Bible says he made them also, as if it's nothing to God to make them. And so he set the sun and the moon in the firmament of the heavens to give light upon the earth. And when he made them, when he gave the command, this is what he said in verse 14. He said, let them be for signs, for seasons, for days, and for years. You see, now God is measuring time using the heavenly bodies. The sun, the moon, and the stars are there to measure time. But they're also given for signs. Signs means things to come. You know, when you're driving on the highway and you're going from Washington to New York City, and you get to New Jersey, the border, it tells you this is the highway to New York City. It doesn't say this is New York City. This is the sign that tells you you're on your way to New York City. Well, that's what these signs are all about. They are pointing you to something else, to the real thing. Okay? As Paul pointed out concerning in the New Testament, circumcision, the seventh day. They are signs. Okay? They're not the real thing. Paul called them in Colossians chapter 2, the shadow of things to come. The body, the reality is Jesus. Jesus is the one that's shining. All the signs, all the seasons, the days, and the years point to him, because he is the Lord of time. Jesus said it this way, that he is the Lord of the Sabbath. When we get to the second chapter, we will see what it means when he said he is the Lord of the Sabbath. And so, when in old days, even today, astronomers still look for signs. They talk about the red moon and the full moon and the new moon and the first quarter and the last quarter and the sun and the eclipse between the sun and the earth and the sun and the moon and the alignment of the planets. Those in ancient time, they see those as signs. And Jeremiah would say to the children of Israel in his day, don't be afraid of the changes that goes on in the heavens as the nations are afraid. Because whenever there's a sign, something happened in the heavens, they were in terror. The reason for that is they worship those heavenly bodies as if they're gods. And when they see those things, they're saying, oh, the gods are at war, or there's a problem going on there with the gods. You see, we don't believe that. And the prophets of the Lord would tell the people, don't worry about that. Those are just signs of things to come. And so when he talks about the seasons for days and for years. Okay, so God is counting time. From out of eternity, he makes time. You know, in the last chapter of the Bible, the book of Revelations chapter 22, we see here, right in eternity, there's a measurement of time also. For example, this is what John said in verse 1 and 2. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of God and of the Lamb. And in the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manners of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month, and the leaves of the tree are for the healing of the nations. It's interesting, right there. There's a measurement of time. Months. Every month, the tree of life would yield fruits. 12 fruits every month. See, 12 months in the year. Okay, so every month you get one set of fruit. Next month you get another set until 12 is over. You got a whole year of fruits to eat. Okay, so if your favorite fruit is apple, you eat it when the month of the apple comes. So when next year you can get your apple again, and you will keep eating different fruits every month. And it says the leaves are for the healing of the nations. People have always said, are people going to get sick? No, people are not going to get sick in heaven, because Jesus already took care of all of sin and sicknesses and diseases. So then why is he saying the leaves are for the healing of the nations? Because the leaves that are on the trees today are toxic. If you raise animals, or if you go in the jungles, you will see animals will pick certain leaves to eat it. Those are the leaves that have less toxicity in it. But the giraffe has a tallest neck, and it eat just certain leaves. And then you move on to the next tree. Why? Because when they start eating, the leaves would send, the tree would send pheromones into the leaf, these toxicity into the leaves, so the animals can't eat them, and you can smell them. For example, when you cut your grass, you can smell these pheromones that the grass gives off, because the grass is protecting itself with this poison. So the leaves are for the healing of the nation. They are not toxic. Now, God created all these firmament, in the firmament, the sun, moon, and the stars, to rule over the day and the night. And the sun has been ruling over day, and the moon over night, all this time. Nothing else has. And the day will come when it will not be ruling anymore. Why? Because the true sun, Jesus Christ, will be shining throughout the whole world. When Jesus said, I am the light of the world, he is truly the light of the world. Because when this world comes to an end, it will be his glory that will shine throughout this vast universe without end. God is the source of light. He is the source of energy. Why is God so powerful? Because he is holy. That's his nature. Holiness is what he is. And holiness is without sin. He is pure. He is clean. He is powerful. He is mighty. And the wonderful thing about our mighty, awesome, omnipotent God is that he's merciful and he's gracious. That's why he is worthy of our worship, praise, honor, and glory. And he has demonstrated that through his Son, Jesus Christ, when he came and he died on the cross to bring salvation to the human race. Glory be to God for his wondrous gift of love through his Son, Jesus Christ. In our next segment, we will continue the study of Genesis chapter 1. God bless you.